Welcome back. Hey pals. This week got some book content for you, honey. So my 2020 TBR to be read is literally in a massive pile next to me. Not very pretty. It was on the shelf, but I couldn't be bothered to figure out how to film in front of the shelf because my life's a mess and I'm tired all the time. So I'm just going to do that here. Most of my TBR can be found on Goodreads, but some of the books I have here just aren't on there, which is rude. But I'm going to go through it with you today. I've never done this before, so if I'm really shit, I'm sorry. Basically, most of these books are either books I've already had for like a while, or like the odd second-hand book I picked up semi-recently, like some point in 2019. And I kind of have a few themes and categories for like book posts on either my blog or on here I wanted to make. So some of these have little groups. And the first little group is World War II non-fiction. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. This book I randomly picked up when I saw a little old lady at a hotel, God knows where, and it's called London Girl, Chronicles of a London Girl by Lily Clark. I don't think this is on my Goodreads to be read because I'm pretty sure it's kind of like, I think it's an indie published book. Memoirs of a young girl making her way in the world, covering the years from 1938 to 2009. I can't read. Discovering the many pitfalls and problems, coping with human relationships and simply trying to survive during some very difficult times. So I think a big chunk of this is about living in the war. The other book I wanted to read is The Woodpecker Story. It looks like this. I think this is on my TBR on Goodreads. And I want to read this because basically my great granddad was in the Woodpecker platoon, and it says Nihil Fortius on here, and that's literally what I got tattooed at the very end of 2019 for my great granddad. No, the blurb doesn't really explain a lot, but it's written by one of the squadron leaders. Apparently my great granddad started reading this book and was like, what? So we'll see. I just think those topics are quite interesting. Another theme of mine is books based in or around sort of where I've lived most of my life. So Sussex, Brighton, things like that. So Let Me Be Like Water, a beautiful reflection on love, grief and friendship. She thought moving to a beautiful seaside town like Brighton would help her overcome her grief, but it turned out she was going to need a retired magician to help her with that. So it sounds interesting. So I thought I'd give that a go. I'm also trying to branch out a bit from my usual YA genre books. Another one is Dead Tomorrow. I've had this for ages. Caitlin Beckett, a 15-year-old in Brighton, will die if she does not receive an urgent liver transplant. When the health system threatens to let her down, Lynn, her mother, turns in panic to the internet and discovers a broker who can provide her with a black market organ, but at a price. So this is kind of like thriller detective-y, which I enjoy shows that are like that, but I don't think I've ever really read anything that's thriller, detective, crime, so that will be cool. And then I've got this really little one called Memories of Old Sussex. I'm pretty sure it's just kind of like a little history book. It's literally tiny. It's always enthralling to listen to stories of daily life several generations ago. It becomes a particular pleasure when the person talking is not only one of the generation but has a sparkle, wit, and power of speech that is quite undiminished by time. So I thought that would be like a nice, easy read. It's not too big. The writing's about average size, so it's not going to be a long read. I think that's it for that category. Now I've got sort of another category of books of films or shows that I've already watched. And one of them is Killing Eve, codename Villanelle. This is the first series of the books, apparently. I literally just stumbled across it in a charity shop near the end of 2019. And this is one I've started reading, but I really haven't gotten very far in yet. I'm on page 27. It seems okay. I think it helps that I watched the show, because otherwise I'm not sure I'd find it that interesting or be able to follow along. Again, a small book, average size writing. I was like, I could probably get through it, even if I'm not super enjoying it. So yeah, that was one that I wanted to talk about side by side with I've already watched the show, but wasn't like reading the book afterwards. And then I've got The Great Gatsby. It took me forever to actually get a proper copy of it. I think I picked this up, at the last bookstore in LA at the very beginning of 2019. And I wanted to read it this year because, I mean, we're back in the Roaring 20s. This is in the Roaring 20s. But also I watched the newer film with Leonardo DiCaprio and his gay boyfriend, Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire. I couldn't remember what his name was. And I've not really been a classics person, you know, fam. I think there's notes in here. Or am I? Yeah. Hello? Keatsian movement destroyed by time. Almost the last thing I remember was standing with Daisy and watching the moving picture director and his star. And it goes on for a little while. Okay, whatever. But again, trying to branch out, the only classic I've ever read is Frankenstein. And for the most part, it's normally the language that stopped me from reading classics. I tried to read Pride and Prejudice because I've watched it. I was like, well, at least I can kind of follow along. Couldn't. I'll go back to it at some point because I have got the whole Jane Austen collection of books. So I think I'll try that again sometime, but not anytime soon. So yeah, this is on my list of a classic, but also a film I've seen before I read the book. And then this is 2 in 1. Anne of Green Gables and Anne of Avonlea. Is that it? Avonlea? I can't remember. So I'll show you first. I grew up on the 80s films. My mum grew up on the 80s films. She brought me up on them and I love them so much. I don't think I can watch the new Netflix Anne with an E. Don't tell me to watch it. I don't think I can. I have a very strong personal attachment to Anne with an E, Anne Shirley, good old Anne of Green Gables from the 80s. I don't think I could watch anything. And I didn't even know that they were books for a long time. And I think I just saw this secondhand as well, and I was like, another part of the collection of, you know, books I read after watching the film. Also just like, she is a true icon to me. So I think now that I am more like her than I ever thought I would be, I think I can read the books they stemmed from. And my last category, not the last lot of books, but last category is sort of magical, witchy books. So I've got Practical Magic here. I tried to read it last year and maybe the year before. Or no, I think I tried to read it when I was still at uni. Don't know why I didn't actually manage, but this also can go into that last category because I've seen the film. So, but yeah, I really like the film. That's basically it. That's all I want. I just want to read the book, you know, because I like the film so much. It really just be like that, you know. Then I picked this up randomly in a charity shop. It's a book called The Potion Diaries. It's a very clearly straight heteronormative YA, but it sounded like a relatively easy read. I feel like this is kind of a genre that I'm thinking about writing, so giving it a read won't do any harm, you know. When the Princess of Nova accidentally poisons herself with a love potion meant for her crush, she falls crown over heels in love with her own reflection. Oops. A nationwide hunt is called to find the cure, with competitors travelling the world for the rarest ingredients deep in magical forests and frozen tundras, facing death at every turn. Enter Samantha Kemi, an ordinary girl that already has me rolling my eyes, with extraordinary talent. Sam's family were once the most respected alchemists in the kingdom, but they've fallen on hard times, and winning the hunt would save their reputation. And then there's a obvious love interest / competitor called Zane Astor. Alchemy, well, bitch, alchemy. You know, I just thought I'd give it a go. A little bit of YA sort of fantasy type deal. And then we have Becoming Dangerous, a book that I have started but not gotten too far in. I think that's 3 essays. It's a book of essays. I've talked about this book a bunch of times. There was another video when I unpackaged it because I won 3 copies in a giveaway. What did I ever do with that 3rd copy? So I want to try and actually fucking finish the bloody thing. It's not bad. I just struggle to fucking read it, and that's about all I can say, because I was just having like such a bad time reading last year because I was trying to get back into reading generally. The last few bits I have, one is literally a self-help book, the Borderline Personality Disorder Survival Guide, because, you know, I'm not seeing a therapist. I probably should. And that's literally just a survival guide. So, I'll just put it on my list as, try to read some of it. Another one is Biting Anorexia, a memoir again. I have started it, but I think I'm literally only a chapter in. My name is Lucy. I'm in recovery from anorexia nervosa and major depression, each of which almost killed me. So begins this extraordinary account of a teenage girl's descent into the tortured existence of anorexia and her arduous, remarkable recovery. Much of this unflinchingly candid memoir is ripped directly from the pages of author Lucy Howard Taylor's diary, as we struggle with the torturous condition, offering a rare glimpse into the thoughts and fears that grip the minds of those struggling with anorexia, the most fatal of all psychiatric illnesses. I'm just morbidly fascinated with people's mental illness, basically. And I think one day I'd like to write some kind of memoir about my teenage years that were taken away by mental illness. Because and the last thing on my list is James Baldwin's Dark Days, and it's the tiny little book. I think I picked this up some point last year, maybe year before, I think at the Jumble sale. I've read a couple of the essays in here. It says, drawing on Baldwin's own experiences of prejudice in an America violently divided by race, these searing essays blend the intensely personal with the political to envisage a better world. So it's basically essays about race and how race affects people, affected this author, and things like that. And as a white person, I feel like I always need to learn more. Oh my God, fucking the light is just giving me eyeball migraine pains. So that is the collection of books I'm planning on reading. I have the aim of reading 12 of them this year, averaging 1 a month. But, sometimes I get really into a book and read it in a day, like Wranglestone. Watch out, bitch. She's coming. Wranglestone is available on the 6th of February below. Some of them are just so difficult and laborious that I had extra ones in case I just had to be like, no, I cannot read this. Can't read this book. Can't read, can't speak. Have a degree in creative writing. I hope I did this right, I don't know what I'm doing. Just fancied giving it a go. I need to go lay down, get out the fucking light. My head hurts. But leave a like And a comment, tell me about your reading goals for this year, books that you really like, think I should read. Oh, by the way, I am probably going to read Heartstopper Volume 3 when it comes out, because I'm going to a talk on the 7th of February for it in Brighton. Hey bitch. So that's another one on my list, really. And give me a subscribe, because I do plan on doing some more video book content this year. But only if you guys give a shit, to be honest, because my views suck right now. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Nothing's different, to be honest, but here we go. Yes. Bye.